All right, we'll start this recording. What up, YouTube? We have FOMC today, so I'm most likely not going to trade. Um, Usually, market tends to chop around before that news drop, because again, in my opinion, the market movers, right? The people who move the market, hedge funds, all that stuff, banks. I feel like they wouldn't want to be in a position where they want to. On me, we're recording. I feel like they wouldn't want to be in a position when FOMC drops, right? Again, we wouldn't want to be in a position. I doubt they would want to be in a position. So again, I really want to see what happens during FOMC drop. I'm probably going to be watching the market and I'll record it too. But at like around 2:30, maybe I'll go live again. But I really want to see if these daily lows, we have relative equal daily lows right here. I really want to see if those get hit on FOMC. We have all these draws and liquidity down below. We're respecting a daily fair value gap to the downside. And I want to see, we're getting a big bearish candle. We're going to disrespect both of these bullish 4-hour fair value gaps, break structure to the downside if this candle closes bearish. So I really want to see what happens, right? We're about to form an hourly S&T, but we still have 28 minutes left to the 10 a.m. Candle closure. So I want to see if we form the hourly S&T. If we do, I would expect price to come into this hourly fair value gap. Then we could trade lower. But if we don't, I bet we're just going to still continue lower. And take out all these draws in liquidity. We have an hourly, we have London session, previous day low, 4-hour, we have Asian session, we have an hourly, we have daily low, and then we have those relative equal lows down below, relative equal daily lows. I feel like if we come down to this daily low, there's nothing stopping us to continue down here to those relative equal lows. So we'll see what happens, right? I'm not even gonna have my broker open right now. Again, we have these 15-minute fair value gaps right here. I really wish we had a 15-minute high or something like that in this area. Again, I'm not going to trade off a fair value gap and continue lower, even if it does without me. That's completely fine. We still haven't broke structures to the upside in the 5-minute on NASDAQ. We did on ES. So we'll see how we want to react. We have this 5-minute high, this 5-minute high. Maybe we can form an S&T off that and continue lower. But again, I feel like New York session tends to chop around during FOMC or prior to FOMC drop at 2 p.m., 2:30-ish. So again, we'll see what happens. I most likely won't trade today. We did trade yesterday. Excuse me. Yeah, we've only traded Monday, and that was a trade that we cut. So again, we'll see what Thursday and Friday bring tomorrow. But yeah, what does news look like next week? Do we have like CPI or anything, or no? Flash manufacturing PMI on Tuesday. That'll be a good day. Thursday, Friday. Yeah, next week will be a good week. Next week will be a good week. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going to keep the live recording. I'm live in the Discord right now. Again, I'm just going to paper trade as of now. And just be patient. Let's see what the market wants to do. I'm going to mark out these 5-minute highs. But again, the reason why I don't want to trade on today, like a day like today, is because, again, like I said, FOMC, right? The more experience you get, you notice on days like this that the market tends to chop. Even if we can predict the move, I'd rather sit out on a day like today. Because again, the probability of our trades playing out today compared to a normal day when we don't have FOMC or don't have news at 2 o'clock or what the fuck is going on? Sorry, my language. I'd rather sit out on a day like today, you know? Wing Wong just texted me. But it doesn't hurt to just observe and look and understand why we don't trade on days like today and just overall observe how price action is, because it helps you build more experience in the future. It also helps you, or helps me personally, be able to sit on your hands, right? Sit on your hands and notice that, hey, the market isn't looking very well for me to take a trade based off of how I trade. So I'm going to sit out. And when you're able to identify the markets like doing stuff like that, I feel like personally it helped me notice when market conditions aren't in my favor and be able to sit on my hands and not take any trades and be able to be patient and sit out on a day and not do stupid things, you know? I feel like it helps build patience because sometimes with people, and this has happened with me in the past, I used to get on the charts and I had to take a trade, you know? But I feel like when you practice on days like this, even if you see an opportunity, you could paper trade it, you know? And then sometimes it goes in the opposite direction when you paper trade it, and you understand why. Hey, I'm glad I didn't take a trade today. Or you just see how price action slowly chops around. It's not moving well, and you're like, all right, this is what price action looked like when the probability is lower of my strategy playing out. If that makes sense. But again, we've already dropped since before pre-market, right? So around even 7 a.m. the move started. We've already dropped, what? Let's say, where's pre-market? Let's go to 8 a.m. Yeah, so even since pre-market, we've already dropped 257 points. So see what happens. See what happens. It's too much news today. I had a bad night at work. I'd rather put 30 in an eval. I already read that. Yeah, it's smart. Was there an overnight gap from the changes over contract? EHS untrade, so you never understand why change over contract gaps up or down. So again, it's contract rollover, right? There's 4 contracts. There are 4 contract rollovers in a year, right? It's why am I forgetting? March, June, September, and December, right? So we're switching from the March contract over to the June contract. So you're going to have a gap in between. So if you're trading on, again, I keep my chart on NQ1 and ES1, but if you're looking to get rid of that gap, you got to click this adjust contract change. It's called BADJ below, and it should take that gap away. But make sure you're switching over to the June contract if you're trading NASDAQ and ES. I posted a video on my Instagram explaining it if you want to watch that, or if I could explain it here too. Just ask questions and I'll help. But always keep that in mind and do some research on the contract rollovers also, just so you know. Right? So again, we have March to June, June to September, September to December. And each time we switch over contracts. So there's 4 times we switch over each year. So the March contract, it ends this week. I'm pretty sure it started last week. It ends this week. So if you're on the March contract, still all the liquidity is going to be gone. People aren't going to be trading on that contract. You're going to have to switch over to June. And people already switched over to June starting this week. So the June contract probably is moving way better than March. And then March ends the end of this week. Si, senor. All right, I'm going to turn my music back up. Let's do some YouTube DJ today. My goal is to pass these 2 evals by the end of the week. I got out of drawdown last week. Yes, sir. Again, don't put don't put like a specific end date on when you have to do things, right? Just keep doing your thing. I know that sounds stupid to say, but like with the market, don't put expectations on when you should make money, how you should make money, how much money you should make, when you should pass an account. Just keep trading how you normally been trading. And you got out of drawdown last week. Like, if you got out of drawdown, you should probably be able to pass. But you definitely could pass by this week. But again, it's just keep following your system, showing up every day, follow your rules, follow your system, and that's it. The money's gonna flow. Just keep doing your thing, and the money will follow. Sounds stupid, but don't put that pressure on yourself because you're gonna start thinking, I gotta pass by the end of the week. Keep it simple, stupid, man. Yeah, it sounds stupid, but just gotta keep doing your thing. $500K instant account, dude. With Trade Locker, bro. Max daily loss 2.5%. It's $3,000 though, or $2,000. Profit split 99%. Steps instant daily loss. Max total drawdown 4%. What's 4% of 500,000? You have a $20,000 fucking drawdown. Holy shit. Yeah, dude, I think we're gonna form this hourly S&T here, and then we're gonna form this hourly fair value gap. And I wouldn't doubt if we come into this hourly fair value gap, and for FOMC, this is when we're gonna drop down after the news drop. That's gonna be my prediction. But this price action, dude, look how slow we're moving. Yo, Mr. T-Long, how much was the eval when you used the code? That's it, $30, even with 85% off. Is that on the new accounts, the trailing drawdown or the end of day? It's not bad, dude. $30 is fucking nuts. I'm doing trade. I don't like end of day. Yeah. I feel like anyway, regardless, dude, it shouldn't. Like, if you're risking a lot, I think end of day is good for people who are scalpers and trying to just fucking hit crazy trades, because I don't think there's consistency either. But that's like people who try and like have like a fucking 5-point stop loss and then that's it, and they just let it run. If you're trading the correct way, I think consistency and everything is the consistency rules and all that. It's just that keeps you in a state where you need to follow rules. There you go. Yeah, let's see if this setup presents itself right here. Wait. 1 minute SMT off of this 5 minute high. 1 minute SMT off this 5 minute high. Let's see if we get an inverse fair value gap. I would need to see inverse / break structure. All this low resistance draws and liquidity down below. Like this would be a normal setup I would take if it was an FOMC day. Ten minutes, okay, close your till. Mm, 41 points. Dude, this actually fucking not gonna be a bad trade. Of adventure. Holy shit. Watch, this trade's gonna play out, dude. Enter a paper trade. I'm gonna paper trade it. Right at the macro, too, dude. If it was not FOMC day, I would take this any day of the week. Any day of the week. I'm going to paper trade, Z. This is paper trade. I just don't like, the only thing I wouldn't like with this trade is, look, we're on the hourly time frame, we close in 7 minutes, there's an hourly SMT that's going to form. If that hourly SMT doesn't form, this trade would play out. But this is just off a 5 minute sweep, 1 minute SMT, 1 minute break of structure, 1 minute inverse fair value gap. And then I would target all this sell side. We have all these draws in liquidity, all this low resistance draws. This could be TP1. This would be TP1. TP2. We'll target internal, and then we'll target the external on a paper trade. See what happens. Again, this is a paper trade. Yeah. masses. All right, today's FOMC day. We're currently live with the Discord right now. We're live on YouTube, but I'm only paper trading today. I'm not going to trade my live accounts, but this would be the paper trade I would take today. But regardless, we're not going to trade our real accounts today because FOMC drops at 2 o'clock. So we'll see if this paper trade plays out. But again, we're just live with the Discord. Having fun showing up. And again, yeah, paper trade. No accounts are going to be taken today on my real accounts, okay? Just an FYI. All right, today's FOMC day. We're currently live with the Discord right now. We're live on YouTube, but I'm taking it today. I'm not going to trade my live accounts, but this would be the paper trade I would take today. But regardless, we're not going to trade our real accounts today because FOMC drops at 2 o'clock. So we'll see if this paper trade plays out. But again, we're just live with the Discord. Having fun showing up. And again, yeah, paper trade. No accounts are going to be... But this would be the paper trade I would take today. Oh, wait. Looks like we're going to form that hourly SMT, dude, unless we start dumping here, and that's why I wouldn't take this trade if we form that hourly SMT. But regardless, this is paper trade today. This would be my break-even level at this 5-minute low. Right there. We formed a 5-minute SMT. Formed a 5-minute SMT. But this price action is going to be dog duty. Is anybody trading on their real accounts today, or everybody's going to be paper trade too? I'm going to try and see what setups it forms. Yeah, eval's smart. Yeah, just remember, guys, FOMC, like we if you trade like smart money concepts and stuff like that, we're basically trying to predict the move that the market makers are moving the market in, right? We're trying to predict the overall direction of the trend. If we have a day like FOMC where we're most likely the market makers are gonna be sitting out, I don't want to take a trade those days on my real accounts with real funds, but it doesn't hurt, like I said before, to come in and test this out. This paper trade plays out, sick. That's pretty cool. You can't get FOMO just because you take a paper trade and you see it play out. And that's why it's good to maybe even do it on an eval or something like that, because again, you kind of get a reward out of it. But if the trade goes in the opposite direction, it's just an eval. But again, it's up to you at the end of the day if you want to put risk on or risk off, you know? It's up to you at the end of the day. Don't listen to anybody else. this price action, guys, dog shit. And look, you got 47 seconds till an hourly S&T forms. So let's act like we're really trading. We broke structure to the upside. Look at this shit. I'm going to act like we're really trading, and I'm going to cut this trade. I would cut this trade if I was in it at a small loss. So our original stop was at this high. We stopped our stop loss here. But when this hourly S&T forms, which forms in 15 seconds, we have an hourly gap here and an hourly gap here. Where do we think we're going to probably go? Probably higher. But we'll see. So I'm going to cut my trade there. I'd be confident in cutting my trade there, so I can reduce my risk and not get stopped out even more. Especially because we broke structure to the upside. But we formed an hourly S&T now from this hourly low. So let's see what happens. Our original stop was up here. I'm going to X out this 5 minutes. We already know we swept it. Let's see if we respect this 1 minute fair value gap. Continue higher. Now we have that big ass hourly gap above. I'm going to X out this 5 minute and X out this 5 minute. Now we have this hourly gap above with an hourly S&T that's formed. So I wouldn't be comfortable in this trade anymore. Let's see if we were correct on cutting it and reducing our loss on this trade. After that hourly fair value gap, hourly S&T and hourly fair value gap form. ES took out the 7 a.m. low from Tuesday the 17th. And this price action is dog duty. But hourly S&T formed, hourly bearish fair value gap formed above. Did we break structure to the downside in the 5 minute yet? We still haven't broke structure to the downside in the 5 minute yet. We were in a bearish trade. We have confirmation that price can continue higher. I would have cut it. Let's see if we were right or wrong. I'm going to cut this stream too, guys, around 10:15. Today's FOMC day. We're currently live in the Discord. Right now we're live on YouTube. I'm taking today. I'm not gonna trade my live account, but this would be the paper trade I would take today. But regardless, we're not gonna trade our real account today because FOMC drops at 2 o'clock. So we'll see if this paper trade plays out. But again, just live in the Discord. Having fun showing up. Well, there's our break even. Paper trade, no accounts are going to be taken today on no real accounts. Okay? Just an FYI. So this would be break even now, but again, we cut the trade. See if we sweep these 5 minute lows and continue higher. Yeah, it is Chop City. Okay, now we're gonna dump. Holy shit. Let's see if we continue higher off this level. We're sweeping out these 5 minute lows. Let's see if we continue higher off here. Trade would be at break even anyway. We basically cut it at break even. Yeah, so it would have been stopped out at break even anyway. See, this helps on accounts too, and you have trailing drawdown, right? Gee, but now you see how this is price action. You probably wouldn't want to trade. You know, if you trade like smart money concepts, you trade liquidity sweeps, and overall trying to predict a market trend. That's why it's good to practice on these days too, because again, you can see when your strategy or the way you trade doesn't play out market conditions like this. Because look at the 5 minute, you know, 5 minutes booty cheeks. But this is why we're paper trading today, right? This is why we paper trade today. Or trade on an eval. If you're gonna scalp and shit. Yep. Another reason why I'm not trading today is if we go back and look at past data, which I did last night, I've never traded on an FOMC day on my PA accounts. I've always paper traded. Even after FOMC drop, I don't have the balls to trade yet. Even after. I know some people do, but I really think that price is going to continue higher into this hourly fair value gap. Just because we have an hourly S&T, but again, the market can do whatever the fuck it wants. Could be wrong. I just feel like that's what it's going to do on FOMC. We're going to slowly chop up all day, and then FOMC is going to drop. We're going to get some crazy wicks or something like that, and it's going to dump. And we're going to come out and take out these daily lows, equal daily lows, relative equal. Which is a fucking far-ass move, but we'll see. I don't trade on triple way. There you go. Yep. See, even I learned something new there. You taught me something. Yeah, and we have FOMC on top of that. Of what you just said. Look at this. Let's see if we cut this trade well. Our break even would be in a good spot. We cut the trade early because of the hourly S&T, hourly fair value gap fill. We came down, we swept out these 5 minute highs. We still didn't break structure in the 5 minute time frame. If I was in a short position right now, I'd be shitting my pants. But we didn't cut the trade based off of emotion. We cut it off of, we saw that price has the potential to continue higher based off of the higher time frame. Our lower time frame gave us bias that it could continue lower, but a higher time frame holds higher power. So that's why I'd rather just fucking cut this trade where we did, reduce our risk. Regardless if we held it, would have been at break even, would have been stopped out at break even. And we basically cut it at break even. Same thing with what we did on Monday. Same thing happened on Monday. I saw confirmation that price probably is going to continue lower after a 5-minute S&T form. We broke sharks to the downside, and then it ended up saving us some money. Taking it today. I'm not going to trade my live accounts, but this would be the paper trade I would take today. But regardless, we're not going to trade our real accounts today because FOMC drops at 2 o'clock. So we'll see if this paper trade plays out. But again, we're just live with the Discord. Having fun showing up. And again, yeah, paper trade, no accounts are going to be taken today. My real accounts, okay? Just an FYI. For the people talk shit. This is crazy. You guys think we could scan this barcode at like fucking Walmart or something and get a free account? Something? Boy, I know you just oh W, what's up? How you been feeling? I don't know if you can hear me. You might have me muted. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna cut the stream in 5 minutes, and I'm gonna go for a run. But again, this is why we just paper trade and observe price action. We shouldn't be trading. The fuck was that? Have any of you guys heard this thing that people are using more than ChatGPT? It's called Tido. It's called. It literally has like the same logo as ChatGPT, which I don't understand. What is this called? Chat on AI. I haven't tried it out. It has an email writer, astrologer, diet planner, study coach, support, YouTube summarizer, text lab, AI keyboard, image lab. It's got all this shit. Oh, look at her dump. Look at her dump. See if we break structure on the 5-minute. I'm going to be trading tomorrow and Friday, personally. Yeah, I don't know. Look at this shit. It might play out. Look at this. We're going to break on the 5-minute. Wow, we broke on the 5-minute. And we can't. No, we didn't come down below this hourly low. Let's see if we just skyrocket back up. How many points from our entry have we bucketed already? 69.
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus. And this is your brain when you're in the zone. But getting in the zone and staying there, that feels more like luck than something you can control. So that's why we made Brain FM. It's like a do not disturb setting for your mind. It gets you focused in just 5 minutes using science and sound. Brain FM guides your brainwaves into an optimal state for productivity called neural phase lock, which lets different parts of your brain work together more easily.
All right, guys, I'm probably gonna cut it here. Yeah, I'm not trading today, like I said. We'll see if that paper trade would have played out, but regardless, would have been stopped out at break even. But again, I don't want to trade price action like this personally, especially with FOMC. Regardless if this did play out or not, it'd be cool, I guess. Be predicting the overall move, but again, I'm all good. All right, guys, if you need anything, call me in the public chat or text me. Don't call me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? I'll be live tomorrow trading and then Friday also. Okay? Peace out, Z, WKG, and then boy. Adios, guys. Adios. YouTube, I'm going to cut this here. Peace out.